Ladies and gentlemen, horse racing fans, this late pick 5 on Bing Crosby Day at Del Mar today is fire. It is absolute fire. It's kind of expensive. It's $108. I'm going to actually try to play it with a buddy of mine or two, and I'm going to try to see if I can probably get one in myself. But yes, $108 on the late pick 5 covering races 7 through 11 at Del Mar. Obviously, fast and firm, minimal scratches, and once again, it is going to pay handsomely. So let's hit this thing. Stay tuned for Thoroughbred Ticket coming up next.
Welcome to Thoroughbred Ticket. We're playing the exotics like trifectas, superfectas. The pick 3, 4, 5, and 6 will become that much easier. Rushing to handicap multiple races? Well, your host will save you a bundle of time. And now here he is, the self-proclaimed expert handicapper, Mr. Kenneth Moultrie.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thoroughbred Ticket, and I am your host, Kenneth Moultrie. And as I said in my intro, I am going to offer you this hot late pick 5 at Del Mar on Bing Crosby Day. That's going to cover races 7 through 11. Now, I'm saying hot because I'm not trying to like brag and say that these picks are hot. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, I think this pick 5 is going to pay handsomely. And I think with an $108 ticket that I'm going to offer, I feel confident that it's going to be covered. I know it's kind of steep. So, maybe you can play it with a buddy or two and knock the cost of your investment down. But I think $108 should cover it. There's minimal scratches, although there is one key scratch of a horse who actually I had on top. So I actually had to substitute a runner in there. So once again, Del Mar, always fast and firm. That is one advantage it does have over Saratoga. You're going to get a lot of big fields. You're getting this in-town bonus that they have from horses coming from places like Lone Star and other tracks in the Midwest. And it's an incentive bonus to help fill the fields, so to say. So Del Mar does a great job of that. They have some nice fields. That's why I think this pick 5, this late pick 5 anyway, is going to pay very, very handsomely. Somewhere, I would say over $10,000, and that, I'm just guessing. I don't see this thing paying, $2,000 or $3,000. So if you can hit this, or somewhere, get some winners along the way, maybe get a pick 3 out of it in between, you're going to, like I said, you're going to be smelling like a rose. So let's go ahead and start with race 7. It's 5 furlongs on the turf, and it's an optional claimer, non-winners of 1 per 72,000 for fillies and mares 3 and up. And there are going to be no scratches, and 10 are going to run. I'm going to start with the 4 Capital Heat. Now, this filly is trained by Van Belvoir and ridden by Drayden Van Dyke. Now, the last race she came out of, this filly came out of, was at Los Alamitos. Of course, they don't have a turf course, so it was on the main track, and she did get up to win. But I'm going back to these allowance $50,000 types, where she byred 74 and 75 at Santa Anita, where she ran third and second respectively. So I really like, even though she won her last start on the dirt, I really like her going back to the turf. She is 0 for 2 on Del Mar's turf, but like I said, I think she does her best work on the turf. Early this year in January, she won a 6 furlong race in 109 flat at Santa Anita on the green stuff. So with Jessica Pfeiffer. So I really like this filly here by Capital Account. The 4 Capital Heat is one of my runners I'm using. The 5 D's Lovely Sophia is a mare. She's a 5-year-old, and she's trained by Hector Palma. Jessica Pfeiffer is going to ride. Now, this is Jessica's choice because Jessica has been on Capital Heat, the aforementioned 4-horse who I like, the last 6 or 7 times. So she opts for this runner here whose buyer numbers are a little higher. So I think that's what the thinking was with the agent here. She's still riding with the bug, so she's assigned 124. She's getting in with 119, and she's kind of a late running sort. Last time at Santa Anita at 6.5, she came from dead last Silky Sullivan type and just missed by 3/4 of a length with Jessica. So, if the pace is hot, there is some speed signed up here. So I think Jessica will get a good look from mid-pack toward the end of the pack, and she'll make a nice run home. The 5D's Lovely Sophia. The final horse I'm using in this leg here is the 9 Smiling Annie, and she's trained by Mark Glatt, who's off to a nice start here at Del Mar, and Abil Sadil is going to ride. And here's another mare who does not have a Del Mar win, but does have 2/3 on their turf course, coming out of some very, very sharp sprints over at Santa Anita, was in the same race as the 5D's Lovely Sophia. So they come out of hopefully what I think is a productive race. Now, 2 back for this mare was the Allowance 50,000, where she, in a 109 flat, she was second, missed just by a length and a half. And that was in the same race as the 4 Capital Heat. So here I am going with the productive race angle. Some of these horses, the 4 Capital Heat, the 5D's Lovely Sophia, and Smiling Annie, coming out of similar races. So those are the 3 who I'm using in the 7th race at Del Mar, first leg of the late pick 5. Race 8 is 7 furlongs on the main track. It's a claiming tag, $50,000, purse $55,000. It's for 3-year-olds, and there's 8 are going to run, no scratches. I almost thought that the 8-horse Positivity was scratched, but I read that wrong on Equibase, and so this gelding is in. So, and it is actually one of the runners who I like. But I'm going to start with the 2 C to Success, trained by Reed Saldana claimed by Reed Saldana last time for $20,000, taking the big jump up to 50, airing at Del Mar, probably coming back to try to be the first 2-time winner at the meet. She earned a 76 buyer going 6.5 furlongs. Victor Espinoza rode her that day. Edwin Maldonado is on this gelding today, so obviously this runner is going to be, sent for speed out of the 2-hole. A 76 buyer last time kind of fits with these. So I think that, this anchor down gelding is going to be on the lead. And I'm not scared of the rise up in class because of the nice figure that he put down on this track last time. That's the 2C to Success. Another runner I'm using here is the 4 The Beat. Now, here's the second runner in here by Reed Saldana. And this colt he's a 3-year-old colt, and he's taking the blinkers off. Giovanni Franco is replacing Drayton Van Dyke here, and this colt is dropping down the ladder from an allowance $50,000 into a claiming $50,000. Did have one race already at the meet at a flat mile here. Ran evenly, really didn't do much running at all, missed by 8 lengths. Dropping back to 7 furlongs, where he does have a 3rd on his record at this distance, and he's taking a major drop. Now, there is a turf race in between at 1 1/8. I do not count that. I do not count that when I'm calling for class drops, because when they run on the dirt, the last 2 times this colt ran on the dirt, he's dropping from 50,000 allowance. So this should be a big drop. Of course, taking the blinkers off, like I said, should be right there at the end. That is the 4-horse, The Beat. And then the final horse in this leg I'm using is the 8 Positivity, trained by Patty Gallagher, written by Umberto Rispoli. And this is a first-time gelding coming out of a state-bred stake at Golden Gate Fields. Was supposed to be on the grass, the Silky Sullivan. Looking at this runner, he doesn't run like Silky Sullivan, but can kind of do either or. It broke his maiden at Santa Anita, and then came to Del Mar in the graduation stakes and won that as well. So he was 2 for 2, and then in another stake at Del Mar last November, just missed by 3/4 of a length. So 1 for 2 on this track with a close second. Should like the track again. Has 2 Del Mar works since, and once again is a first time gelding. And I think Patty Gallagher has this runner in the right position. So 2 C to Success, 4 the Beat, and 8 Positivity are the 3 runners I'm using in this leg of the late pick 5. The 9th race here at Del Mar is a 1.125 on the turf. Optional claiming 62,000 per 74,000, 3-year-olds and up. And there's 2 scratches here. So that is going to leave a field of 9. And I thought this was a very, very tough race. I ended up using 4 runners in this leg here. This is the most runners I think I've ever used in any leg. But I've never used any more than 4. But like I said, this one was really, really tough. Let's start with the 1, KP All Systems Go. And this colt is a 4-year-old colt by More Than Ready, trained by Jeff Mullins. Umberto Rispoli is going to ride. Now, this colt is coming out of some very tough races, some very high-level competitions, although has not been seen since last October at Santa Anita. Was in the Twilight Derby, the Del Mar Derby here last September, bet at odds of 6-1, but didn't run too forwardly, kind of ran even, missed by 4 lengths. And then in the La Jolla, kind of ran a decent third in a grade 3 there. So I'm looking at the numbers for Jeff Mullins. Jeff Mullins, some time ago, used to be a high percentage trainer here in Southern California. Is kind of a middle of the road trainer now, but always been good with comeback runners, and that is why I'm looking at KP All Systems Go today. Has a nice Del Mar grass work around the dogs, 114-3 on July 22nd, and like I said, is really good off the layoff with trainer Jeff Mullins. I don't think this is a prep run at all, so I look for a big run from the 1 KP All Systems Go. I'm also going to use the 5 Ocean Atlantique, and I guess that's how you say it. It's an American Pharaoh colt trained by Mike Maker. Trevor McCarthy's trying to get his feet wet here in Southern California. Had a couple of wins early. This has been kind of cold late. This colt was taken from Brendan Walsh, and Mike Maker has taken over. And Mike and the outfit of Mike Maker has had this colt for about a month now. So he was beaten favored in 2 straight at Keeneland, first time in this country. He's a Kentucky bred, but has been racing over in Longchamp and St. Cloud, all over there, and then came back to his native Kentucky. Like I say, was beaten favored twice in a row, and then was bet at 9-2 last time. But that was on the main track. Now going back to the turf with Mike Maker, I'm looking for big things from the 5 Ocean Antique. Is that Atlantique? Okay, kind of tough for me to say. The next runner I'm using is the 9 Rip City. Now, this gelding here is basically very, very sharp. But it's been second 3 out of the last 4. Before that, won 4 straight. Has 2 wins on Del Mar's turf. Mario Gutierrez is going to ride for Mike Pipey. And like I said, this is kind of a runner who I was going to use because he has the best form. But I'm looking for, I like actually the 5 better, Ocean and Atlantique. I can't even say the name, but I do like that colt better. But Rip City has some really good numbers. I'll feel comfortable having him in the sequence because he is going to be running second or third when they turn for home. And with a clear trip, he can easily find himself in the winner's circle. Has 1 good Del Mar turf work just to kind of get him more acclimated to this particular course. And like I say, this gray gelding should make a good account of himself today in race number 9. I'm using also the 11 Get Her Number. Now, this is a Peter Miller trained horse, Florent